Okay, so we're going to look at a dependent probability question, and it's going to be covering one of the typical questions where you get asked about picking out marbles from a bag. So in this question, in a bag there are 3 green marbles, 4 blue marbles, and 5 red marbles. I pick out a marble from the bag and don't replace it. Then I pick out another one. What is the probability I pick 2 red marbles? Okay, so you can decide to draw a big tree diagram here. The reason I'm not going to do that is there'll be too many branches, and I think it'll be easier just to think about it logically here. So when you pick out that first red marble, what's the probability of picking out a red marble? Well, in total there are 3 plus 4 plus 5 marbles, so there's a total of 12 marbles, and of those 12, 5 of them are red, so the probability of picking out a red marble is 5 out of 12. So probability of red equals 5 out of 12, and that's on the first go. Okay, so imagine you picked out a red marble on the first go. The probability of picking out a red on the second go, so probability of red, we call it red 2, red on the second go. Well, if you picked out a red marble on the first go, there won't be 5 anymore, there'll now be 4 red marbles, so the probability will be 4. And if we look at the total number of marbles, it won't be 12 anymore, it'll be 1 less than that, so it'll be 11. So probability will be 4 out of 11. Now in the question we want the probability of picking 2 red marbles, so when we want to find out the probability of 2 things happening, so red on the first go and red on the second go, we multiply the probabilities. So the probability of red on both goes will be 5 out of 12 multiplied by 4 out of 11, which comes to 20 out of 132, which you could simplify, but we'll leave it like that for now. So that's your answer to this question of picking out 2 red marbles. Okay, second question. This one's more tricky. So same scenario, but we want the probability of picking out exactly 1 blue marble. It's a bit tougher. So let's list out all the combinations we could have if we got 2 marbles. So we could have a red and a red, we could have a red and a blue, we could have red and green, we could have blue and blue, blue and red, blue and green, and finally we could have green and green, green and red, green and blue. Okay, now of those combinations, which one does blue appear exactly once in? So it appears in the red and blue scenario. It doesn't appear in the blue and blue scenario because that's 2 blues. It appears in blue and red, blue and green and blue. So they're the 4 scenarios where blue appears exactly 1 time. So let's figure out the probability of each one of those happening. So we'll start with the top one, red and then blue. So the probability of picking out red on the first go, as we know already, is 5 out of 12. Now if you pick red on the first go, the probability of picking blue on the second go, well, there'll be 4 blues on the second go. There won't be 12 anymore, there'll now be 11. So the probability of blue on the second go is 4 out of 11, and that comes to 20 out of 132. A bit of a shortcut here. We've figured out the probability of picking red and blue. Now we're not going to think about the probability of picking out blue and red, because what we can do is take this answer here and doubling it, because the probability of blue and red will be the same as the probability of red and then blue. So we can already find that answer to be 20 out of 132 as well. Okay, now let's look at the probability of blue and then green. So the probability of picking blue in the first go will be 4 out of 12. Probability of green on the second go, well, there's 3 green marbles and there's 11 left, so that will come to 12 out of 132. And just like before, now that we've figured out the probability of blue and then green, we already now know the probability of green and then blue, because it'll be the same probability, so 12 out of 132. Okay, so we have our 4 probabilities now. When it comes to picking exactly one blue marble, this one here, all that one, all that one, all that one will be fine. So in probability, when we think about all, we add the probabilities together. So we do 20 over 132 plus 20 over 132 plus 12 over 132 plus 12 over 132, and that will come to a total of 64 over 132. So that is your final answer to the question, what is the probability of picking exactly one blue marble?